Alright, so I'm going to have to replace the speakers in my car, because the factory ones, it got turned up a bit too loud, and I think I either blew the foam off the cones, and now it basically just sounds too rattly and horrible basically, so I'm going to have to replace them with something else. And I simply went on eBay and just looked up Vauxhall Corsa B speakers. I found these for $39.99. There are loads of others. These are just generic ones. These are Vibe Slick speakers. They're just generic, really. They're rated for 210 watts max power. I believe 70 watts RMS. Of course, I doubt these are going to be able to cope with 210 watts between them, but 70 watts maybe. They have the, I think it's a tweeter and a mid built in, or it might even be a sub. Depends on the windings of the coil, but I think it might be, well, I know it's a tweeter and a sub, or a mid and a sub, I don't know. It doesn't exactly say it anywhere. But yeah, I've got a Vauxhall Corsa B, which is a V plate, so it's 1999, so it's 17 years old pretty much. But it all runs fine. Had to have the exhaust on it replaced, but luckily I know someone who has a yard of Corsas and he replaced it for me for free. And then the speakers got blown out, so I had to replace those as well. These aren't going to sound the best because they are only cheap, but you know, as long as they work, that's all I really care about. Let's have a look at this then. So 5 1/4 inches in diameter, 70 watts RMS, 210 watts max power, 4 ohms impedance, 10 ounce ferrite magnet, wow, and there's all the mounting depths and whatever. Super lightweight absorbing PP cone. PP, no idea what that is. Enhanced bass rubber surround. Enhanced bass, wow, that's so great. There's all this stuff on the back. Comes with the gasket, the magnet, whatever. That's just for the speakers, but the kit that I got off eBay actually comes with these like cones that extend outwards, because you can't mount the speakers directly onto the metal on the door panel. You need these extenders for it, and it comes with these. These are actually a separate package to the box, so I think the speakers you can actually buy those separately, and then you can get these cones separately too, but they just basically have mounting holes. That's good, because the originals, you know, when you screw into them once, these are only plastic. It will probably wear out the thread pretty quick, and then of course if the speaker's not screwed down properly, it's going to rattle. So British audio. Wow, this is so high end. I don't expect these to sound that great, but you never know. They might be alright. Put it this way, 210 watts, I mean, these are only rated for, I think, 180, so between all three. So I doubt these are going to, well, I know these aren't going to be able to output near enough that. Now, I think the original speakers failed because the stereo that was put in there, I think it's way too powerful, and it basically blew them out. Let's take this off. Is this one whole box or is it two separate? No, there is two separate boxes, which have a speaker in them each, because there's the right hand and the left hand speaker. Let's get a look at these. Vibe Slick 5 speakers. Okay, so this surround here basically holds the speaker against the metal, or the plastic cone on the door. Small amount of weight in them. I felt worse, to be honest. The magnet's quite small, to be fair. Just see what else is in here first. Looks like we got some speaker wire with brand new That's actually quite nice. That has brand new crimps on it. And got some other mountain hardware and some screws. So yeah, these wires have brand new crimps on them, that's good, so I can replace the wire as well. Because I've seen some speaker replacements for Corsas and the speakers don't actually come with brand new wires. So that should be alright. Here they are, they're quite cute and tiny. Foam feels decent quality, to be fair. Got the little tweeter on there. Wire isn't too awful thick, but it should be alright. Have a look at the back. Vibe Slick 5, 210 watts peak. Peak is basically when the speaker is outputting that much sound that the cone will start to mess up. And it'll start to tremor and it'll go all rattly and horrible basically. 70 watts RMS, so hopefully the stereo that I have should be able to do that. Well, I know it can actually. It's not the heaviest thing and the magnet's not too awful big. I guess it's alright though for 40 quid off eBay. Should do the job and actually be able to listen to music again in the car. And here's the front surround. You're not actually going to be able to see this because it's hidden by the door panel anyway, but yeah, it's got a dust cover there. Goes over the speaker. Then how does this go? I'm going to have to actually figure this out, to be fair. No, this goes over there, I think. And then the speaker, pick it up as one module, slide it into the door cap, and then you screw it in like that. So that should be fairly easy to get it on. The door panel is quite easy to take off on Corsas. I think there's about 6 screws or so, and then some plastic clips. I think they're just standard cross head or Phillips head coarse thread screws, so they should be quite easy to get out. And as there are some clips, you will need some sort of spudger to get the clips off, just like that. Just standard Phillips head screwdriver. I'll take a couple out with me. So we're going to go out to the car and see if we can get these replaced easy enough. Alright, so here's the stereo that I've got in the car. I'm not going to show the outside of the car because I'm not blocking the registration off. I don't want to show that all over the internet. This speaker is pretty much dead, and this one is rattling like fuck. So what I'm going to do is now there are speakers in the back in this, but I'm going to have a look at those another day. Yeah, that is basically rattling like mad, so that's going to need to be changed. And that one is, I don't know if the wires come out or if it blew the coil out or something, but I'll have to have a look later. Here's the car, 93,000 miles. Not too bad. Still runs though. So there is, I think, let's switch this off here. 7 screws to take off for the front door panel. And on the Corsa Bs, this panel here comes off separately to the top one, whereas on, I think I don't know if it's the C or the D, I think it's the Cs. You have to take this plastic and this top part are all one module, so you have to take both the bottom and the top halves off. But on the Bs, it's literally just this bottom piece here detaches from this bit, I think. So, and there is, you can see where the screw threads go through. There's 3 along there, there's 3 along the top, and then there's 1 down there. So I'm going to take those out and then I'll unclip this and then I'll update you on what I find that's wrong with these speakers. Alright, so I've got the panel off, it's quite dirty under here. Gonna need to clean it, but here's why the speaker sounded like shit. Foam rock, and look how scratchy it is. It feels loose. Switch it on here. That's definitely fucked. No, that's just an example of how old this is. Speaker just literally peels apart, and the foam is totally rotten, so that's why it failed. So looks like there's a screw hidden up there, screw there, and a screw there to get this old one off, and then it looks pretty easy to get the new ones on. And I'm also going to have to hoover it out because it's quite dusty. So I'm going to get the first one on first, and then get the all installed. This thing is rotten. The foam just peels off. It's great. Anyway, let's get this off here and replace it. Not the first speaker done. I ended up having to solder the wires because in the kit they didn't include the wire converter, because there's a connector on these old ones to make them modular, but I just soldered it over. As well, I don't think this car's ever going to be getting a new set of speakers anyway. Alright, let's listen to the sound. That sounds alright actually. I think this one over here is totally dead. I can't actually hear anything. So I'm going to replace that one next anyway, but this one is sounding good. The bass is alright actually. I mean, the camera might not pick it up as well. It never does, but it doesn't sound like it's vibraty or rattly, even when I turned it up pretty high. So that's pretty good. And the lower pitch sounds were quite clear as well. I thought I heard a rattling coming from the back speakers here, and if that's the case I'm going to have to replace those too, because it's going to just sound shit if I don't. Well, I've got to replace that one next anyway, and I'm going to have to solder it as well. This is why I work on TVs, because working on cars is just a load of faff. So anyway, let's get that one in next, and I won't film the progress update on that, but this is really easy to do. I put the speaker in this before I put it into the door here. It's on there nice now. So let's get the other one done in the rain. This one's pretty severe foam rot as well, and it's seized. Comes outwards, but pushing it inwards. So that one's definitely faulty. To wire up Corsas, there's two wires. There's a brown and blue one, which is this one. That's the positive, and there's a totally blue one. That's the negative, by the way. And normally on speaker wire, the white stripe is the positive, and the black is the negative. So it's just a quick tip. Alright, so the speakers are done. Well, I think there's got to be another project on this because the battery's dying. This is the third attempt. Let's see. Actually, that's neutral. There we go. Yeah, the battery is getting a little low, I think. So I'm going to replace that next. It's about 60 quid for a brand new one on eBay. Mind you, I had my key took off me anyway, so I wasn't, you know, this thing hasn't been ran in about a month now. so it's just been sat around, so that's probably why the battery's a bit low. It was worse to start earlier, but it's not that good now. Alright. I've got some crappy CD on, by the way, as well, so hopefully YouTube doesn't copyright it. It would already be rattling by now on 20, so that's good. This is just the intro part. Sounds a lot better on the lower frequencies. Bass is alright as well.
Please stand by. We are live in.
It's alright, it's better than the originals. Of course, it's not anything compared to a good set of speakers, but it does sound a lot better. And most importantly, the rattling is not there, whereas the old ones, they would have been rattling like hell right now if I turned it up that loud. So that's all good. I'm just going to sit in this for a bit, just keep it running so the battery doesn't die fully. Plenty of fuel, and that's hopefully, it's not really been a tutorial, it's just been something I've been doing on my car. Next it will be the battery that I change, or I'll have to get it recharged somewhere, but I'll probably, somebody's calling me. Right, so I'm going to end this one here, so thanks for watching.